Discussion items, consideration of adding a school student board member.
I think this is something that, since the board's tentative date, it's going to be sometime in February, that maybe we want to start to vet out a little bit, I think, with some of the historical information we provided from a few other districts, and there didn't seem to be any feedback on opposing a student board member for the 2020-21 school year, that maybe this is something we start to vet out a process so that maybe we can open it up to Dr. Freitas and myself and the other leaders in the building to start to vet candidates for a student board member seat for next school year. I don't know if this is something that I don't think the community would be actively opposed against. And I want to make sure we provide ourselves enough time so kids can consider the obligation that it entails, but also the process to select a candidate.
And did we did we find a model that we liked? There were several models. Some models were just for the months that students were in school, where they were not expected to come during the summer months.
That's why I would like to get moving on this.
Yeah.
The main thing was that all the research that we did, they do select a senior. It's select the spring before the senior year. Some schools had a female and a male student. Some schools just had one. They only no school allowed their student to participate in closed session.
Right.
They only received the open session. They had a chair at the table, and they were commonly referred to in, large discussion items similar to chemistry staffing or course offerings, etc. But I'd like the board to start thinking about this. Maybe we can go into a little, since it's been a long night already, have a little more in-depth conversation maybe in November so that I can start to put some things together with the building administration so that we can maybe start the process as early as sometime second semester.
So do you want to put together, or yourself, or an idea with, what that looks like?
Sure, I can do that.
Then we can vet that out in November. We can say, well, whether we like the two or the one or
Okay.
the school session. I think it's, I don't want to say it's easier to change something than to build it, but I think if you come with some ideas, then we can vet that out and come up with a pretty good idea, because I do agree we need to get going on the first thing in the new year, right? Because you're going to want to identify that student and get the right people in place, and that's a process in itself, right? And whether it's elections or how you want to do that, I think that's something we need to vet.
Yeah, I would obviously very much support that, and especially because it was brought up as an idea, knowing that this has been done in other schools and so forth, and it seemed to make a lot of sense, at least to me. But if we could cross the threshold where we actually engage the administration and even students, you guys know the school, much better than certainly I do, and so just even then gauging the level of interest or the other issues that might come up that we might not even be thinking of, I'd love to see that, because ultimately that will lead to an actual decision based on a true proposal. Up to this point, it's still just an idea, so I'd love to see that.
Right. So if we did that
We can start discussing a proposal. I'll bring a proposal in November, which should help spur some more discussion, and then it gives me till December to tweak it again.
Right, and then we'll have to vote on it maybe in December or the first thing in January. We'll have to think about how that looks, but.
Yeah, I don't even know if we would have to vote on the process, as long as the board gives me the go-ahead to start a vetting process of what we agree upon there. At the end of the day, maybe the board approves who the student board member is at the end of the process.
Okay.
Right, it's more like assigning work to the administration, so it's not a formal vote, it's just, if I put together the process and we could discuss it over November and December, we can hit the ground running second semester.
Right.
And advertising, vetting, whether we do a student election process. Okay? Is everybody okay with that? Okay?
Yes.
All
Thank you.